Jackets, take it away.
All right, hey everybody. My name is Jackets. I'm here joined with Luke from A Game Network on YouTube.
Hello!
And this is Bleed 2.
Yep.
Before we do get the run started here, I am wanting to basically go into a bit of a preface, going over different strategies and just showing what this game is before we jump right into it, because we have a lot to cover. So, to start it off, Bleed 2 is a run-and-gun shoot-'em-up game with a few bullet hell aspects and some other things that we can cover. So starting out, we control Rin here. She has the ability to dash, like I showed, 3 times in a row. We have the ability to slow down time like that.
Yep.
And then we also have a few ways that we can actually reset our dash count. So we've got this first way, which is the most basic and the most advanced, which is basically like dashing into the ground and then being up off the ground before that dash resets, before the dash like stops. And then we also have a few other abilities, like doing it over a corner, and then going over a slope can do it as well. And then we can also land basically at the very edge of a platform in order to reset the dash as well. Basically like walking off of it.
Slam her head into the ground just right is really a lot of what the settings are.
Right. And then as far as this run goes, this is a freestyle category. So we've got our loadout here. I personally use every single weapon in this run. Right now, my normal loadout would be white, pistols, chainsaw, laser, rocket, and then I also equip the katana, which has a separate kind of flurry attack. And then we also have dual pistols, just for memeage.
Yeah.
Along with that, we've got 4 different air dodges, which we can change at any time in the run. We've got our classic triple air dash. We've got a flying kick that damages and passes through enemies. And it also goes pretty quick going down, rather than like any other direction, really. We've got a teleport that actually takes up our energy meter here. So, like that. Trying to do it without the energy just does nothing. And then lastly, we have this energy blast, which is going to be a pretty big way to deal damage. And then, as far as the kick, it's much longer than the normal dash, but it is quite a bit slower. So with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and start up the run.
Right.
So of course we're going to be doing story, freestyle, normal. So story mode has no limit on lives. We get very generous checkpoints, and of course we're going to be doing it on normal difficulty.
Yep. Sounds like a plan. All right. Well, kicks right off into the start of it. Yeah, I like that you got to show them it in the shallow end what it's like to just mechanically control the game, and then we just get to see you flurry your way through here. But yeah, as you fly forward, you'll see in the top right your meter going up there. And we were actually talking a lot about it earlier, especially for like some of the mini bosses and stuff. A big element of this is going to be like increasing your style. So taunting at like bosses, reflecting their bullets, just any like near misses really, and stuff like that is gonna increase your style. And with that, your damage goes up, your fire rate goes up, your range goes up, even your projectile size, which I didn't even know. So yeah, essentially, if you see Jackets just whipping up and down with the boost during boss modes, it's just all finagling up that style meter.
Right.
Trying to keep it up.
And as far as some of the other like different strategies or techniques you were seeing before, we do have the energy laser blast, which is going to be a really good way to basically start out most of our boss fights. It's just a really great way to unleash a load of damage in one instant.
Yep.
And then The two main ways that we're going to be damaging enemies are through our white gun, and then the chainsaw if we can.
Yeah, I love the chainsaw. It's. I think we calculated earlier. It is probably taller than Rin herself, so she just walks up there and just holds the death stick to them, or something very powerful about it.
With that, I'm going to actually switch over to our teleport, and we are done with level 1.
Woo! Look at that.
Ahead of time too.
Yeah. And then skip over that. No one needs the news report. poor Plucky the Flower.
As far as the story goes, would you want to deep dive into that a bit?
Okay, so actually what I find fun about this is the story. I think it's better to start off with the first game, because first game has a really novel concept wherein you're playing as Rin, who you're playing as now. And they want to become the greatest hero of all time, and their way of doing this is by murdering all the other greatest heroes of all time. So it's sort of like this kind of a funny, like, backwards experience. And so through that game, you go through, you kill them all, and then a little blonde-haired boy named the Rival actually takes, like, the credit for killing all the past heroes, and tries to sort of steal the spotlight. And in trying to, you know, murder him as a sort of revenge, then you kind of get brought in the spotlight. In fact, actually, there's the Rival right there driving the truck. So this game takes place after all that. Rin is now hailed as a hero, because obviously hero material right there. And well, as far as we're at so far, I mean, something is amiss. But you know what that is right there.
That movement going out of the tunnel area right there, that was really good. I rarely get that kind of good on the teleports. They can be really difficult to, like, time. Oh boy. But with teleport, the strange thing about it is that it actually depends on how long you actually hold the button to teleport. So you can teleport really quickly like that, or you can have a longer teleport. And it really just is very technical on how long you actually hold that.
Yeah, playing this game, no matter what, whether you're speedrunning or not, it very much feels, I don't want to say, like, an art form sounds a little pretentious, but seriously, the way this game controls, and just feels like Rin's just an extension of yourself is immensely great. So if you haven't checked it out, I would consider. Yes, seriously, it's great fun. Also co-op, actually. If so desired, you can have fun with that. I think they're still working out some of the kinks with it, but it's quite a blast.
Okay, so now we're done with Red Sprite over here, who has yeed her last haw.
Yeah, yep, precisely that.
Going into level 3, I guess one of the things that we haven't really picked up on is that the style meter actually resets back to 0 as soon as you start a new level in story. So the first thing that we're really wanting to do is just increase that style as quickly as we can. I think I will be doing something a bit risky here on Ninja, where I can just have that energy blast to start off. He does start in a random location every time you fight him, so it can be really tricky to do, and it can land you in some pretty wacky, bad situations.
Despite how much of a breeze Jakuts makes it look here, this fight is actually definitely, I would say we were talking about earlier, the first, like, you gotta know your stuff going into it. There are a lot of bullets to parry, and yeah, they have quite the arsenal of attacks, and you gotta be on top of your stuff, and know the language of the game, if that makes sense.
And as far as using the different abilities, teleport is really good with actually going through some sections where you just don't know any other way to get through. You just boop right on through.
Sorry, that was beautiful right there. That section you just went through, that was something.
I missed the energy blast there.
Nah. And over here we got a Lego Man, as I like to call him affectionately.
Rex Rocket from a different game from another developer called Rex Rocket.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel bad for calling him Lego Man.
It's a very different game from Bleed 2, but I believe it does still have the same kind of fast pace to it.
Oh, cool. And now the series is over because they just died.
Yep. But right here, I'm going to switch over to teleport so we can just get on that platform we saw right there.
Yep.
No time flat.
Here you go. Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And then this style meter, it just doesn't matter.
Right now.
Fight, yeah. We can just use the energy blast. It can deal as much damage as white at an A rank, which is pretty decent.
Curl up in the corner. It's fine. Look at that.
That actually brings up another thing that we have not mentioned. Usually the energy blast is that quick, but you can actually cancel the animation by changing your dash mid-blast, so you can actually land or like shoot your laser a bit faster.
Oh, okay.
But if we do have any announcements, now would be a pretty good time. Just have to focus on not getting hit.
Sure. Remember that all of your donations will go towards the prize pools for next year's SpeedGaming Live tournaments. If there's a game that you'd really like to see, a community that you'd like to feature in next game SpeedGaming Live, you can make a donation and set up a tournament during next year's event with a cash prize. That's pretty great. And then all of those donations can go towards the game of your choice and whatever incentives and prizes you want to go for as well.
Sounds intriguing. All I gotta do is just get good at games.
Or at least know a bunch of people who are good at games.
Yeah, right. Have
to
connections
to watch them be good at
it. Yeah. I usually just coast off of people who are better than me at games, like I'm doing right now with Jakuts here.
Man.
Oh, there they go.
So right here, we're getting into a bit of a boss rush section. And if you have ever played Bleed 1, these guys might be familiar. These were the previous greatest heroes of all time, or at least the robots that were made in their image.
Yes, in a very adorable throwback, you are not only fighting all the heroes you killed from the last game, but the scrapped robot recreations of them from. So it's a boss like. It is a boss rush from the first game, almost downgraded since they are the previously trashed versions, but, you know, they come back with a few tricks up their sleeves.
So right there, you actually have the kick equipped for most of the fight. Well, we know the reason. For Robo Bunny there, when she's dashing around all quickly like that, her hitbox is actually in the same exact location as the flying kicks when you're not slowing down time and when you're not using that kick. So anytime she goes and collides with her own bullets, she takes damage from the kick.
Right, yeah. Right, here's another.
On Super Mario here with a backwards long jump.
Yep, yeah. The old. Even in every speedrun, it just makes its way in there. A classic.
Oh, that was close.
Whoa!
I had to cancel my jump there.
This is quite the boss. I just call them the wall, because that's what they are. Just a big wall. The first time I fought them on, like, very hard mode 2, they were a wall for my progress as well, so...
Right.
Yeah, there we go!
Old fingers. I'm gonna go ahead and go to teleport again, just to get over this section a bit quicker.
This is one of the only parts in this game where you are truly left to just fly, and it is very fun, and if you're watching someone who is good at playing this game fast, rather exhilarating.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. see. This game also does have an amazing soundtrack. Would like to take a moment to point that out. The first game was entirely composed by the original creator. For the second game, they brought in a wonderful composer who brings in the overdriven guitars and just some real good tunes on this game.
Okay, we've got it. I was half keeping myself from screaming in glee right there because that is a sort of recent strat that we've figured out, where if you time the energy blast just correctly, along with the music that's going on in the stage right there, I believe it's on the third note, right as you hear that, if you can start that energy blast, that is the proper timing where you can just delete all of his shield.
Which it ties back into the other end of the soundtrack. It's useful. It's practical. Helps you plan.
That was a great Super Metroid escape sequence right there.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Just finished my Metroid Dread run a few days ago, so not too. My brain's in that location. In fact, actually, this window looks a lot like the Samus visor I was thinking earlier, but... dun, 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 dun.
Oh my gosh!
Whoa!
I have not seen that all day today.
You were waiting all day for the Pac-Man attack. Which, yeah, I mean, that's what we were saying earlier, like, the RNG-est element of this game is the boss, is just what attacks they pick. And just hoping they get a good pool of attacks in a row. Woo!
As far as that goes, it seems like, like, just that, at the, like, highest peak of the skill level, that seems to be some, at least, for, like, what says a run is good or bad. But, like... That is when world record is, say, what, like 15 seconds away right now? So that's not really saying that much as far as RNG in games go. I've seen a lot of games where it's oh my god. But
oh yeah, don't get me wrong. But for this game, which we were talking earlier, a lot of it really is just getting down, just getting your playthrough down to a science. It's not like maybe like, I don't know, Ocarina or Mario 64, where it's just like, let me shatter this game into a million pieces.
Right.
So
right here, your eyes were not fooling you. We just took some intentional damage right at the start of this fight. Because later on in the fight, after this coming phase, we've actually got an animation to skip. And that's going to save us around 12 seconds or so.
Sure you're not just slipping jackets?
Nope. Oh boy, that was almost though.
Oh. Yeah. Don't worry, no matter what goes wrong from now on, just say it was intentional.
Yes,
it's fine.
that's exactly
that was all
true.
part of the plan. Woo! Whoa! Got right in there with the chainsaw.
Yeah, chainsaw is definitely the highest damaging weapon in this game. Also, this is like a slightly new thing we found, like within this past year. If you aim up here near the style rank, you can actually hit Valentine sometimes when she is just spawning in.
Right at the start. Ah! Oh, there we go.
Barely got the 2 cycle. I was seriously afraid that wouldn't have got it, but we hit it, and I'm feeling good.
Yeah, a little bit over 15 minutes in. Good.
Currently just 30 seconds behind PB pace, but it's a run that I'm happy with. I'm going to go ahead and switch to teleport here so we can get out of the room really quickly in this epilogue station level.
Skip Plucky's news report because no. Alright, here we go.
Also skipping the best cutscene in the game, which actually changes different depending on which character you are.
It does, and it's really funny if you play as, I think, the rival, right? Where they're just like,
the rival's definitely my favorite cutscene in the game.
Yeah, you can essentially play as the other character in the cutscene, and they have a moment of, well, we're the same person, huh? Like, ooh.
31 seconds on Mantis, not quite bad.
Beautiful.
Especially without a smash attack. Right here we've got a bit of a nod to the first game with the helicopter climb.
Yep. First game is also very good.
Yeah, even compared to the second, I think it's still worth a play.
Yeah, they both
sure.
they have different. It's like different flavors. Bleed One's just a bit more methodical's the wrong word, but it's definitely a bit less run and gun. But the high octane in this game is just on a whole nother level.
So we got half of an off-screen kill there.
Yep, you got it full off screen. I think you were practicing earlier, and like we didn't even know they died for a second. Like they were completely not on the screen anymore. Pulled a Sans. I'm going to Grillby's. Ooh.
So basically, whenever any enemy goes off screen, going for that energy blast is definitely one of the go-to next attacks. Just because. I mean, we're not able to hit the enemy off screen, so what better than to just destroy them once they get back on?
Just completely obliterate them.
Yeah. So here we've got a crawling core.
Yes, this is quite an interesting boss battle, just from a mechanic standpoint.
He's a bit of a nuisance when it comes to this. He can charge us, and then we have to find a way to dodge the incoming lasers. Luckily, though, he won't give us much of any problem here. Just
Very
because
clean.
White is just so strong with an S rank. And we're dropping frames. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
That's hopefully going to be fine.
Quick, pick him up! Gotcha. There you go. Oh, whoa!
Chainsaw up his face.
Yikes!
For a few seconds there.
So visceral.
Okay, for his katana here, usually he would deflect your bullets, but if you just switch to the laser rifle, he's not able to do that.
Y'all may remember that old move from Ocarina of Time right there. That was essentially 1 second game of tennis that just happened. Blink and you miss it.
And that is time.
Yep, look at that.
1911.
Beautiful. Pretty beautiful.
One other fun thing about this is chainsaw.
Just in general. Oh.
I am not holding the chainsaw now. Red, I think you forgot to turn it off. Watch your pockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's this little thing here with the chainsaw where if you just hold it at the end of a game, it just keeps on going.
Just keeps vibing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fine.
Chainsaw go burr.
It's cold outside. Chainsaw go burr.
That is Bleed 2.
By Ian Campbell. Give him some love, and this game some love, because it massively deserves it.
This game does not have the attention that it deserves here. You can get this game on sale for as low as, I think it's like $3.33.
I've gifted
the first game included?
Yep, I've gifted it to at least 4 people I know. It seriously is really up there for me in terms of like just 2D action side scrollers, and like, yeah, it does not get nearly enough praise.
Just in general, if you're interested in games like Cuphead, like Gunstar Heroes, Metal Slug, even, give this game a shot.
Yeah, the movement is like no other.
The movement is amazing. It feels just as good as like Celeste, or even like basically any game you can think of where movement is just the peak.
Yeah, I'd co-sign that.
Such a masterpiece, just in general.
Yeah,
the pacing is perfect, I think, for a speed game especially, because of course, if you have like a low amount of time like I do normally, 20 minutes for a speed run, I mean, like, come on, it's
and
perfect in my
early playthroughs on harder difficulties too, like these bosses will take you a minute. Like it definitely like has some length to it too on earlier playthroughs. I would describe, like, if you've ever played Cave Story and done the thing where you jetpack with your gun and felt how satisfying that feels, this entire game feels like that. Like, yeah, it's all about satisfaction and control.
If you are looking into any kind of tutorials for this, if you do want to get into speedruns, we are having a sort of series for tutorials on the Bleed Running YouTube channel. So that's Bleed Running, no spaces. I'm actually making those myself. I'm still working toward the second part of the fundamentals, which is slow motion. Part 1, which is all based around movement, is already out. It does not cover the ability switching because that's like really advanced. I'm still working on it myself, to be honest. But it covers all sorts of the different ways to dash reset, and I think I did a pretty good job. You
did do a pretty good job. Yeah.
I've got going.
I've got nothing to do with the with that video, but I think it's good.
Of course, just switch off chainsaw. I'll just change my character that switches it off.
There we go.
But
yeah, are we wrapping?
There are so many small good touches to this game, and I think it's well worth a try.
Yep, I fully agree.
And we even hold like racing events every now and again too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I met you through this game. I got to talk to I made a video on just like why I thought Bleed 1 and 2 are really good on my channel over at the Game Network. But through that, the creator tweeted at me, and he's a super cool dude as well. And yeah, that's how I met Jakuts over here. It's a very good community, a very good game. Deserves a spotlight.
And speaking of the developer being a great guy, we had someone recently, just within the past few months, ask if we would be able to have this ability switching switched over to the itch.io version. Since so many people have gotten that through the bundle for social justice that happened, was it like 1 or 2 years ago?
Yeah,
that $5 bundle with like the, what, like 5,000 games in it? Whatever it was for that amount? At this time, just a few days ago, the developer has actually released this speedrunning version to itch.io. So if you do own that bundle, you already have it.
Yeah, yeah, you can essentially that's what makes the ability switching quick and on the fly, and you don't have to pause.
Right.
Yeah.
It does not have the online co-op like the Steam open beta does, but of course that is online co-op through Steam's servers. So it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is
we got
Bleed 2, and I do want to thank Stone Owl for joining me.
Hello, that's me. On YouTube, I'm a Game Network. We play games and make videos on them, and that's fun.
And thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting this run.
Yes, super. Thank you to SpeedGaming and Jakuts for having me. So I'm just thankful for everyone who exists, I guess. Great.